it's a dance constantly.
I was fascinated to hear your thoughts on that, because my take on you as an actor is very artisan, and sometimes television isn't, and even when people are saying it is, sometimes it isn't, um, and it's sort of like when you have a fantasy or a dream, and then you grow up to do it. Doesn't always look the way it looked like in your dreams,
Yeah.
right? So, um, how do you like being an actor versus what you thought being an actor was going to be?
It's different depending on the medium.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have scenes or projects where it's just exhilarating and where you're challenged and where you're sometimes even learning about yourself because the character, the scenes are telling you something that you never thought. And then there are some projects that it's just about the money. And I don't like working for that. For me, it has to be about the creative more than anything.
So then, how do you deal with the business of it all? Do you? I mean, obviously, you have people who take care of that for you, and you're hopefully immersing yourself in your work. But again, how does your soul deal with that?
Yeah.
Because we're all, like when I was a little boy, I used to pretend I was a DJ,
Yeah.
and being on the radio is way different than I thought. And sometimes, as much as I love, and you all should be jealous of me because I have the coolest job actually on the planet. I
Yeah.
love what I do that much.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's soul killing.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of being a grown up.
Yeah.
So how do you handle that?
Um, I'll have play readings at my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, how cool! Are they of new plays or are they of
It's a
classics?
mix. Yeah, it's a mix.
Really?
Yeah.
That might be the neatest thing I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And so you just invite a bunch of people over and you just read?
Yeah. And I will go and see obviously other people's work. I try to see as much theater and opera and as many features as I can, especially of people's work that I admire. So I try to stay inspired by just going out into the world and engaging with it on a creative level. Sometimes just going to a museum can feed your soul. Sometimes like turning on the internet and listening to an actor talk about their craft can feed the soul. And then truly sometimes just sitting down with like an old person and hanging out for, a couple hours, that can be mind blowing as well.
You're such an old-fashioned artist.
Oh, yeah.
You are lovely.
Oh,
Absolutely lovely. Stana Katic joining us on the Jolt. Do I dare ask what the last play you did a reading of was? Do you remember?
yeah. Speed the Plow.
Really?
Yeah, kind of appropriate given our conversation.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you have like a mental list? You forgive me, I'm fascinated by this.
Right.
Do you have like a little mental list of plays you're looking to tackle?
Yeah, we're gonna do some Ionesco next.
Ooh, yum.
I can't remember the way it's said. The one is the future's an egg, something like that. Or
Oh,
the
I know what
future
you're
is an
talking
egg.
about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then the first one it's called Jack and the Submission, I think.
Oh, wow.
So we'll do like a reading of both of them together. Spiked Heels. I read. Is it Spaz? No, Dusa Vi Spaz and something else. Fish, and it's a feminist play from the 60s, 70s. And just looking at anything and everything that we can kind of, and it's never the same people. It's just a different group of people. Some colleagues that I went to school with. One of my old professors is nearby, so he comes in and he'll kind of guide things.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
That sounds like heaven.
Yeah.
Honestly, it sounds like heaven. It sounds like when I was studying theater in college, it sounds like the kind of thing that we would all dream would be our lives as actors.
Right.
When I was obsessing over Sam Shepard one acts and
Yeah.
Early Mamet and
Patrick Shanley.
oh my gosh, we all dreamed that that's what it would be like.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, and of course that's not what it's like for anybody, but it sounds like you've created this little world, and it sounds absolutely delicious. I'm so happy to hear about it, and thank you for telling us about that.
Mm-hmm.
So to add a splash of ice water onto all of this,
Yeah.
how long do you think you'll be doing Castle?
I don't know.
I mean, do you look at it, because a TV show has what could be an endless life, or there's a point where the actors or the producers say, let's take a bow while we're still looking dignified. Does any of that enter your mind?
I think that, you know, whatever gets decided, you know, I think that it's a good idea to go out on a high note.
Yeah.
So I think as long as we have something a story that we can tell and tell well and be passionate about, then let's do it. But to just tell a story, just to tell it, just to keep the machine going, I think that that's it's not the way to go, you know?
Do you envision Kate figuring it out, or do you think she'll be on the eternal search
for
answers to anything? I feel like she's a woman with a mission. Does she ever complete her mission?
In a way she did, because they resolved the mother's murder thing last season. So that part of her they have. This season has been specifically focused on the Richard Castle character. They've remythologized the show by adding some questions about his character, like where was he when he was unconscious for 2 months, or when he was gone for 2 months? What happened to him in the woods back when he was a young guy? So I think that one part of her world has finished, has resolved. She's on this journey with him, wondering what happened to him. And I don't know if they can create any other kind of character arcs for her. I hope they can, you know, because it makes it interesting. But right now, I think her character arc is to help him find out what happened to him.
Well, we shall see. But in the meantime, I delight in knowing that you have this flourishing creative life while you're living the life of a working actor as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stana Katic, it's so nice to see you again. Please do come back.
Thank you.
And we want to encourage you, of course, to watch Castle Mondays, 10 p.m., 9 Central on ABC. Stick around. There's more to come on The Jolt.